Two Cajuns in one day, huh? Y'all getting a real Cajun right here. Not as bad as Coach Ogeron, but you're getting a real Cajun, Coach Guidry. I don't need no opening statements. Y'all ask questions.
So what are your impressions so far of Cam Kinchins, who had an unbelievable year last year, and his abilities and leadership capabilities, have they already kind of made an impression on you?
Yeah, the first thing I know is that he's really intelligent. He's really explosive at everything he does, and you can tell he's kind of the bell cow of the defense. I'm going to ask him to do even more so, talk a little bit more, but he's having to learn the defense just like everybody else, so sometimes that's kind of a delay leadership, but I think the guys are doing well. They're playing hard, they're taking coaching, and as long as they take coaching and try to get better every day, we got a chance to be good.
Coach Caleb Spencer, the freshman, seems like he's one of the biggest safeties out there. Just what are your impressions on him so far?
He's young. He doesn't know a lot yet, but he's a hitter. I watched his film come out of high school. He does some good things. Whenever the ball's in play, he plays a lot better. When you break it down into passing and more of the drill stuff, he struggles a little bit. But when the ball's in play, he knows how to play football. So we'll just take it step by step and see how much that he can get better and see where he's going to fit in this summer and in the fall.
Coach, what was the hiring process here like for you? Obviously, you just started at Tulane, and then, obviously things changed. So what was that process like?
Well, it was good to be home. I'm a Louisiana boy, and I was gone for about 3 years, and I knew a bunch of the coaches on staff at Tulane, Coach Fritz, and some other guys that I'd coached at McNeese and I'd coached with. So being back there was good. It was during Mardi Gras, which was good. I got some king cake. I ate some crawfish and some boudin. I don't know if y'all know what boudin is, but anyway, it was good. But when Coach Cristobal called, it was kind of a job that I've always had interest in, even as a young kid. I grew up a McNeese State fan, and I played at McNeese, so LSU was like never a dream to me because I liked playing at McNeese. But when I saw Miami play Notre Dame way back in the day, I fell in love with the way they played, the swag they had. It was always a place that I thought that I'd want to coach. Of course, Jimmy Johnson is from Port Arthur, Texas, which is only about an hour and 15 minutes where I'm from. So, the U has been special to me. Watching them, my first college game I ever coached was against Miami back in 2000. It was our first winning game at McNeese State. I'm not going to tell you what the score is. You can look it up, but it was bad. Miami, excited to be here and just see how good we can get.
Can you talk about your relationship with Coach Cristobal and maybe when you guys first met?
Well, I was the defense coordinator at Western Kentucky for Coach Taggart when Coach Cristobal was at FIU, and we beat them twice, and we played really good defense against them. They had T.Y. Hilton, who was an exceptional wideout, and I think most of the time when you get jobs, it's usually from your opponent, admiring the way your guys play when they watch film, how hard they play, and just schematically, and he always stayed in touch with me, but things just never seemed to work out, and then this kind of evolved really quick. We had a good season at Marshall last year, and so it is what it is. He called, and I took the job. I'm excited to be here.
You seem very passionate about the state of Louisiana. Is it important to you to recruit there and
well, it's important. Louisiana is important to me because I'm full-blooded Cajun. So I'm a Guidry, Landry bro. So on all sides, I'm French, and I like my culture, just like an Italian likes his culture, and a Cuban likes his culture, and a Puerto Rican, and a Haitian, and Jamaican. So my people live in Louisiana, so I'm passionate about that. But I have ties there. I coached high school football there for years, and I coached in the state for most of my years. So I've got a lot of deep ties, and I've earned a lot of respect by high school coaches there because I was one of them. I'm an old high school football coach, so it's easy to go back in there and form relationships with kids because the coaches kind of know me. So we'll do what we can to get the best players we can out of there. But we want the best players for Miami. It doesn't have to be from Louisiana, South Florida, whatever. We want what's best for our program. So we'll go anywhere to get anybody.
How tough is it for the kids to adjust to a new defense? Is it?
It's always tough, but experienced guys usually translate a little quicker because they say like this is like this. So they have to kind of flip things in their mind. A lot of times I've gone to places, and if the coaches were still there, I used their system and their terminology. That way the learning curve would be limited to them, but more on me. But we switched so dramatically from what we did last year and the way we called things, so they just thought that the coaches that were here just go ahead and put it in the way you want to put it in, and the kids are learning. So they're doing well. And we're going to probably go a little bit slower with our installs. We'll probably be at about 65-70% at the end of the spring, and then we'll catch up in the summer, and then we'll throw it all in the fall and see what sticks and play with that.
Any early impressions on defensive backs like Marquise Williams and Jaden Harris?
You know, all you can really judge right now is how they're playing the pass. Until the pass start popping and people start, you know, it's always different when the pads come on. So I don't want to make an early judgment on anybody because some people look really, really good in just helmets and spiders. But when the pads come on, sometimes guys that didn't look as well look a lot better when the ball comes in play and it's live. So, you know, I'm not making any pre-decisions on anybody. I'm just going to coach every day and try to get better, each kid, and just coach the coaches and coach the scheme and see how good we can get.
And the defensive roster. Sorry, I was just saying, are you familiar with any of the kids? I'm curious if you had recruited any of them at some point.
The two big safeties I remember, because when I was at FAU, their names, you know, coming out of high school, so I'm familiar with them. Leonard Taylor I was as well. So most of the South Florida guys, because I was coaching at FAU around that time when they were coming out. So I'm familiar with some of those guys. Yes, sir.
And the defensive roster, any impressions on body composition or just how the defense is structured?
Well, we've got some defensive linemen that are out right now. I mean, probably 4 of the starters, I mean, on paper. So, and then the big safety's out, of course. And so you got different guys that are out. And we'll add them in the summer when they're healthy, and then we'll see what we got. But the good thing is the guys that are backups or fighting for jobs are getting all the reps right now. So you're really building depth, which is a good thing, right? So in the fall when we have more people battling for jobs, we'll do competition every day to try to fight for the starting job every day. We're not going to wait to a scrimmage. Every day we're going to adjust the depth chart, and we're going to fight for positions every day. It's the only way I know how to do it. That way when a kid goes down in the game, they've played with another kid on the side of them before. So in the fall, you'll probably see a lot of interchanging of the ones.
What are your impressions of Jason Taylor as a coach?
Oh, he's good. He's really good. Not only his knowledge, but his teaching and how patient he is, and he can get on him when he needs to. And of course, he's got a gold jacket, right? So you respect that him as a player. But he's a great teacher, a great person. He got a bright future. He's going to be a defensive coordinator, either at the college level or at NFL. I can tell already. We got a couple guys on staff like that. I'm really impressed with the staff we have here, and I'm excited to work with them. We get along really good, and that's the main thing, is that you get along good. And I've got an open mind to take suggestions, and some things are non-negotiable, but I don't want to muzzle any of my coaches because we got good football coaches here.
Kind of the same question about Derek Newsom. Yeah, what do you think about him? Your first impressions working with him?
He's special. He's really special. He's another one that's got a chance to be a coordinator. He's really good at what he does, great teacher, motivating, bright, young. He's been in some big places, been around different good coaches, you know, so I really like him as well. Coach Adai's doing they're all doing good. Coach Adai's really, really smart as well. So I'm excited to work with these guys, really am.
Your defenses are known for different looks, sometimes a bit unorthodox. Talk about how you've developed your schemes.
You know, people say that we run a hybrid defense, a 2-4-5, and it's not. It's 2 defensive ends that are standing up. They look like outside backers, and a lot of times we stand up so that we can see where the back's at, in case the back jumps, because we got different assignments. But it's 4 down linemen, 2 backs, and 5 DBs. Now we will go 4-3 with 3 backers when they go heavy personnel, but it's not what people write stories about. They're wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not innovative in that way. I'm sorry. I'm a real guy. I'm going to tell you the truth. But the defensive ends just stand up. And we do a lot of different things with them. You know, we could drop them. We could rush them. So that's a little bit more unorthodox, but it's not different personnels by any means.
Coach, when you first got hired, some videos from you giving speeches at Western Kentucky came out. You're a real passionate guy. Just where does that love for the game and passion come from?
It's from high school. You know, I was a high school quarterback. I went on and played at McNeese State, and got moved to defensive back, of course, because I was too short. But I was a point guard in basketball. I ran on the relays. So I played shortstop. So I was always in a position of leadership, and I was trying to coach when I was little. When my daddy coaches Pee Wee football, I used to tell him what to do, and he'd just laugh at me. Shut up, boy, you're not the coach. So I'm just passionate. I love giving pregame speeches. I love getting kids hyped up. But when you get out on the field, that all kind of just drifts away. So when you give a speech, you got to leave them with something that's going to hang throughout the game, a keyword or something like that. So, you know, it's just in my nature, I guess.
Coach, a few more questions for Coach. I talked to a couple of your former players in March, and you told me that you're really good at just making adjustments. If something's going wrong, I think there was a game you guys fell behind 21-0, and gave up 3 points the rest of the game. Where does that come from? Where would you say your influence on that?
Well, I've been a defensive coordinator for a long time, and I've seen football evolve. So the things I do now, there's a story behind it and the why. And a lot of young guys that grow up now in coaching, they know where we're at in football for a scheme, but they don't know how it got there. So when things don't go as planned, you got to fall back on experiences. So the more times you did something and the further you can go back, football just cycles. So my high school days, you know, some of the best coaches I've ever been around is high school football coaches, because you got to coach a freshman the same as the senior, but you got to kind of develop them at different ways. You know, the freshman don't know anything, whereas the senior might be a 5-star. So you got to go on different levels, and you know, you just do experience, you know, and so everything kind of rewinds back in my head. When I see something, I say, oh, I've seen that before, I know what to go to. And I don't copy anybody's defense. I kind of learned a little bit from everybody, kind of made it my own so I can adjust for what I'm doing, you know, so.
Coach, your fifth DB, does he have a special name? We've seen different terminology.
We call him a star. So we have a sandbacker in the 4-3, and the star will be the nickel. He's kind of a hybrid corner safety. He's got to cover like a corner, but he's got to be able to tackle like a safety. So that's always a dynamic spot in the defense, because it can make you multiple. Because people most of the time are with one tight end and 3 wides, right? When they go 2 tight ends, then you match the bigger personnels with it to the 4-3. So that guy's really important to defense, and he either comes from a corner or he comes from a safety, athletic safety.
Right now, can you say who's been kind of working?
TC's been the guy. He's been in there. Also, Harris has been in there. And we haven't worked enough corners in there yet, but in the summertime, we'll probably start to create some more depth there. First 2 days, we've kind of been all base. Wesley's been the sandbacker. But we'll get into nickel on Thursday, I should say. It'd be more nickel based then.
Francisco Maigoa, your initial impressions of him?
Who's that?
Francisco Maigoa.
Very natural. Very, very natural, very smart. Don't say a lot. He's still picking it up, but he's one of the more natural guys that we have, I think. I'm excited when the pads come on to see what that's going to look like. But yeah, I've been really impressed with him. So I'm excited to see how much better he can get as he learns the scheme.
Great. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.